Hello, welcome back. We're in week 7. We're almost this close to finishing this course. Okay, so here's what we have today. This week is a week that I want you to work on your final paper and project. Most of you have already been starting. A lot of you already looked at the discussion board and we're kind of looking at the major paper. Some of our discussion board questions you could utilize within your final paper, like the SWOT, some of the promotion ideas that you and your classmates came up with, also with income statement, all that could be put in there. So what do I need? We're going to click on week 7. First of all, what's required? This 12-minute or 20-minute video you're looking at, you're going to have one more forum worth 20 points, and this forum will be strictly just on your paper discussion. You'll have your paper will be due by, I think on the syllabus it said Friday, but I'll give you to Saturday midnight. And also your PowerPoint presentation. It's maybe like 5 slides, 5 bullets each, because after you've written the paper at my face-to-face class, you've written a paper, even if you've done something at work, you've written an action paper, a proposal, you have to submit the paper. A lot of times you have to actually present that to your group or your audience you're talking to. So in the class, I would basically have people write the paper, do a PowerPoint presentation, whether it's individual or team oriented, depending on the course you're taking me with, and then present it to simulate what you would have to do in the business, whether you're doing as a business manager or department head presenting a proposal, or as a new business entrepreneur presenting it to investors or to the Chamber of Commerce because I'm just opening up my business. So remember, the PowerPoint is quick, easy, 30 points. All I want you to, and we'll talk about it later. Okay, so let's get in here real quickly. So it's going to be an easy week, but a hard week. Okay, so you have your last forum. Say goodbye to your friend. Hey George, hey Sally, whatever, whoever you want. You made a lot of connections in the class. This is a smaller online class is usually a little more intense since this is an 8 week class, a 16-week class crammed into 8 weeks. So you've made friends, contacts with our discussion board, as you would in business. You've got certain colleagues. So say goodbye to them or ask them any question on what's required for the business paper. Now remember, your all the information you need is right over here. Major paper requirements. Click on that. You have a conceptual map, one of my mind maps, printed out as a PDF file, and you'll have you have two. One is like a shorter version, just the nuts and bolts what you need. The other one is more of expanded. So for every header that we'll have, you'll have an explanation on there. Okay. So you made your so you'll do that and try to at least respond to several students. Hey, could I help you on here or not? I'm not going to go with the traditional that you have to respond to that many, but I want you to always look at the forum discussion board. You have to put something for the points. This is my last given away present, an easy discussion board. So if you have a question and somebody within the discussion board, within our virtual classroom, knows that answer, they somehow picked it out, or you might have missed it when you're looking underneath my major paper requirements, then you could say, oh, I saw this in my major papers requirements. Dr. George stated we needed this, and help each other out. Remember, I have other classes that are online that are closing up, so I'm trying to do as much as I can within the discussion board. But you, I already molded you, assisted you in how to help each other on during the discussion board. That was one of the whole issues or one of the outcomes that I wanted out of this online class, that you learn to network, you learn to utilize other people, you learn to help people without expecting something in return. That's how you build your network. You've made friends in this classroom, similar to how you make friends and colleagues at work or people, other businesses or other managers, and you collaborate to the bottom end so you're successful as a business or a manager or department head. Your team feels that they've accomplished this through doing hard work, and you could see the fruits of your product and your all this classwork, that you actually have a product or something. So if you're going for an interview and they'll say, oh, I see you've got a business administration degree, a marketing degree, or an accounting degree. Oh, very good. What else do you have? I've done this project for this online class, and this is what I would think would be a action plan or a feasibility study for a new business, taking everything I've learned from all the different chapters or the courses that I've taken, and I've compiled this in a real short little version just to see. And then you could show this to your potential employer or someone in an interview, and they'll say, "Oh, not only does he or she know how to write, it's consistent, it makes sense, and oh, this is pretty good. You've taken the vocabulary, everything you learned, and you have a tangible item. Whether you're doing a new business or proposing a new policy change or looking at a new market, you still have to have an executive summary, give them all the information, and then you'll have a recommendation. Normally in business, you would have 2 or 3 recommendations. Here, you're gonna do your proposal and say, I recommended this for this and this reason, and then you'll do a PowerPoint presentation or some kind of demonstration within the classroom or within in that environment to expand on the high level why you should look at this project. Okay, so we have that. So that's your last forum. Do well, and then you're finished. Okay, so this is last week 7. Next week is week 8. You're going to have a final exam. I'll open that up someplace over the weekend, and you'll have till Wednesday to complete your final exam. Final exam's 100 questions, same format, multiple choices. The only thing is all chapters, all 20 chapters, except chapter 11 and 12. 11 is HR, 12 is labor relations. For some reason, because of the deal that you received with the McGraw-Hill loose leaf book and the e-book, plus with the Connect Learn Smart software, those 2 chapters were eliminated to offset some of the cost reductions for the books that you receive. Good deal, all right? But I've covered enough of that within some of the forums. Okay, so you made your paper. Here's what you'll want for a major paper. After you look on this, you'll submit it in here. I've got YouTube in there showing you how to submit it. When you go into the major paper, when you click on here, what you're basically going to do, it tells you what you need, minimum of 2,400 words. Before you get into there, you have to check, yes, I approve the software to check for plagiarism. This is part of the college's requirement that I make sure you're doing your own work. And then if you did cite somebody else's work, you provide that citation in here properly using APA citation. And I have that in my major paper recording that you can look at. It takes like about a half an hour. Okay, at least 35 vocabulary concept. You have my concept map. You should say, oh, this is my depreciation. This is my sales. This is my marketing plan. This is my advertising plan. 4 P's of marketing. Not just throw the words in. Try to put it in there so it makes sense that I'm using it. I made a lot of money. No, I received a return on my investment of 16%, looking at my expenses as my revenue and my total sales, and how do I minimize this, and how do I expand my market share. All those are business terms and concepts that I'm looking for. Those should be identified, 35, either underlined or bolded, not for my sake. I could pick them up like that, but for your sake, so you know I've got my at least 35. Whether you're taking my class or any other instructor's class in business or whatever subject area, for you to get credibility is that you speak the language of that discipline. By you speaking that language, people say, oh, he or she understands the conceptual ideas, and I could look at that individual as a resource. And a lot of times they'll throw certain verbs or certain vocabulary is very specific for that industry. If I talked about the Bob Dodd Act, and if you're not in accounting or had anything in business, what the heck is that act? Is it something out there? Remember, you understand, those are the regulations that was passed through the administrations to deal with the financial crash that happened in 2000, I want to say 2008 and 9. So this was a response to that. Some people in business understood that. What was the issue with this? If you mention it. Remember, we mentioned about too much procedures. Good for the large company, too much red tape for the smaller businesses. Okay? APA citation 68. It doesn't have to be, when you looked at that, I'm looking at citation. You looked at George's Hot Dog Stand. You look at your competitor's website. You cite that because you're getting that information from that. And the reason I ask for APA citations is because it gives me the current year on when I'm looking at apprentices within the document. I am looking at that because in business I only go by the last 5 years. The more current, the more credible, the more research you've done, the more I feel as an investor or a manager, yes, I've got the most current information and I should have a higher probability of being successful. Okay, so we have that. You submit this. So here's where you get out. You don't write submission. You browse my computer, and I have the thing. You click on there. You browse my computer. You add a file in here. You know what I mean? All right? And then you agree to the global reference. And here's where you just put your comment. Dr. George, I enjoyed the class. Enjoy reading my paper. Hope I got a good grade. That's what you want. But here's you browse my computer, and then basically what you'll do, you'll find wherever you have. Let's see, I don't have a. Here's a Word document. I just show access. I just show that in, and see now you've got the Word document. It tells you here's the documents for the standard, and you're all set. And you submit it. I can't do that since I'm instructor, so I'm going to cancel, and then you're all set. And the same procedure for the PowerPoint. Okay, so cancel that. Okay, now you also have your PowerPoint. In your PowerPoints are easy. You should know how to do PowerPoint, either through high school or some other classes. If not, just a little video with the PowerPoint. Microsoft Office 2010 is available free to all College of Lake County students. You go into your portal, download it, it's in the cloud, and as long as you have a College of Lake County email, you're able to access it. A $700 program free offered by the College of Lake County for all students to utilize. So it has to be a Word document, DOC, or a PowerPoint, PTX, submitted to me. If you do it in Google Word Docs, some people like that in the presentation, when you save it as a Word document or a PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint, depending on what software. If you're doing a presentation, you save it as a Microsoft PowerPoint. If you're doing the Word document, your paper, you save it as a Microsoft Office Word document, and then you save it, and the file will be saved on your computer. Then what you do is you save, because it's saved as a Word document, not as a Google Doc. Okay, and then what you do is you just find that file, name it, make sure you put your name, business 121 online, whatever section you're on here, and your name and kind of the business, and then you attach it, and that's how I'll be able to open up within Blackboard, the course management system, in their environment. I'll be able to grade your papers, put your comments in. I have a rubrics. I'll follow the rubrics and put that information in, and then save it. So when you open it up, you'll see your grade. Right now, you'll see an asterisk that you submitted it. As some of you did some of your homework before, an income statement. If you didn't, you're going to be a little lost. Hopefully not. You submit it, and you'll see the asterisk. Once the asterisk grade, you'll see the grade. Click on that grade, if it's A, B, C, and then they'll open up to the Word document. You see any kind of comments I made, or look at the rubrics. All right, so that takes care of that. So, all right, we've done a lot. I want to just use this as a summarization, and then what will happen Saturday or Sunday, I'll open up your final exam, and you'll have the same amount of time as you would in the classroom. 100 questions, multiple choice, 1 point each. I don't think I'll scramble them. They'll come in order, follow the chapter. I wish you the best luck. You've learned a lot in this class. 16 weeks crammed into 8 weeks. You've learned that in business, I not only have to have a face-to-face store, I also have a virtual e-commerce section. That's what you're doing here by responding in the discussion board. Is how you would respond to your teammates, how you respond to your customers. We've taken 20 chapters. All 20 chapters are normally full courses, 16 weeks, 2 or 3 courses going forward. This is a summarization, what they call a survey course. You looked at all this like a smorgasbord, and you see, I don't care if you're a hot dog stand all the way to a Baptist minister, I have them all in all my classes. Whatever, Baptist church or a religious organization, non-profit organization, business to business customers, selling hot dogs, clothing, whatever you came up with, accounting specialists, you guys came up, guys and gals, you came up with this. All businesses have to utilize all those 20 chapters. Got to hire. Got to look at my expenses. Got to do the accounting. Got to look at the laws and the regulation. What did the banking system do? How do I get additional? Do I do debit financing or equity financing? Debit is taking a loan. IOU. Equity is bringing more partners in. What are the rules? How do I limit my liability? Am I a corporation? I'm a limited liability corporation. What is marketing? Marketing is the core of all business of the marketing campaign. And then from marketing, you have your advertising. Advertising is your public communication to the things. You have PR. PR you don't control, but you could kind of manage it. Make sure people are out there. PR, public relations. Make sure the mayor's there when you open up, or you have a new idea that it catches on. Remember, so you have that information. How do I hire employees? How do I fire employees? How do I find out how to do market research? How do I find out my demographic? What is my niche? What is my SWOT agreement? Strength, weakness, and opportunity of my product. What are my competitors doing? Look how much you've learned. How much do I price for my product? All this you've learned in 8 weeks. Come on! You should be going, oh my goodness, I don't believe I learned it. It went by quickly. You did well. You learned, made friends, and then hopefully you'll take this information as your template. As you decide, you may decide to change different business, but you already know the process. You may be a manager and you want to open up another venue or another market your company's asking. You have to go through the same process. You have to understand everything on that. This is what this course is about. Some of you, this may be the only business class you had. Others, just you had other classes. Now you know how the pieces fit together. This is what this course was about. You've learned so much. You've written. You've researched online. You did your homework online. You saw my YouTube. Not this time. Maybe next time you take me for an online class, because I also teach. I'll teach marketing and finance classes, depending on I'm a contractor for the college. So same requirements as a full-time, it's just that I teach here and other things. I do some consulting, so it gives me a little more flexibility, different streams of income, how where I work, what takes care of what's my revenue, what's my cash flow coming in. Okay, so I think you did well. I'm very happy with this group. Some of you I'll run down the campus. If you see me, say, "Hey, Dr. George, how you doing?" I've seen you've updated your profile in Blackboard, so I kind of know who you are. So just say, "Hey, Dr. George, I had you in this online class, blah, blah, blah. I've run it to students. I've opened up. What I've learned made sense to me. Now I could, even if I'm opening a business or I'm working at work, I understand what my boss is saying. I see how they market. Or if I'm a consumer, why are they doing this? What's going on? I'm more in tune with the regulations. What effect will it have on me as a business owner or as a consumer?" Remember, I brought this from the perspective of a business, how to make money legally and how to get your customers motivated to my product or my business or my service. All right? So I said a lot. I was trying to keep under 20 minutes, but I want to thank you very much for signing up here at the College of Lake County. The College of Lake County, don't stop with this one class. All the instructors here are trained in how to do online or face-to-face. College of Lake County is a strong school. Many people, when they graduate here, they either open up their own businesses, are very successful, have a good basic understanding, or they'll go on to a 4-year university and still have a good high rate of success. They know how to do online, they know how to do face-to-face, you know how to write, you know how to read, hopefully improved a little bit better, you know how to communicate both in a virtual environment and face-to-face. And look, even going for your bachelor's, you may not be able to get all your classes face-to-face. You have to take some online. More and more is going online. You've learned the integrated software. You've learned how to move around Blackboard more than you ever thought you would. Okay, so again, I want to thank you. I was very humbled that you signed up for my class and that you helped me out through the when we did the discussion boards. I had very good postings. I understand sometimes things didn't go out well. Some might have not did as well one weekend posting, but you're able to make up. You had different areas. It's not only testing. You could learn how to improve on your communication, on your research. You learn how to read, utilize the PowerPoint. You learned a new integrated software. Some of you are using the ebook that came with the software. So you really accomplished a lot. You have a major project, even though you may not open up the business. Some may. Some are going to open up after this course. Hey, maybe I should wait a little bit more to make sure I have everything else. Follow your dream. If you want to work in a corporate, that's fine. follow your dream. You want to be an entrepreneur? Follow your dream. Go for that thing. Do not be afraid that people are going to laugh at you. They're going to laugh at you anyway. Just look at it and say, hey, I've got that spark. I know I could do it. I've got the foundation. Now I have to take the risk. Nothing, you got to plant the seeds. You got to go out there. You got to take the risk. Sometimes you'll fail. Big deal. Get up, shake yourself off, and go forward. Businesses fail, pick up. They just don't have the right mixture. They may not be able to address or adequately inform the customers what they're selling. You know what I mean? You may not understand your customers well, but that's how you learn. Okay, well, wait a minute, I messed up on this one. Oh, geez, most of my customers aren't baby boomers; they're Generation Y and Generation Z. I gotta sell it to them different. I gotta use different media, not the newspapers. I gotta use the social media, and there's a lot of it out there. That's all I've done. So again, enjoyed having you in my class. You only have another week and a half. It'll be over. You'll get your credit points. You'll get the grade you deserve. I think in this class I got B's and A's, a couple of C's, but we're doing well. No one's failing unless you haven't been in class and you already know you're failing. You just dropped. You haven't been active. But majority of people, if you stud in with this, you got the grade you received. And if it wasn't the high grade you wanted, remember you're learning something new. For some of you, you're not business. You come from different discipline, but now you have the understanding. Like it or not, in any business, in any walks of life, you have to touch business. If I know the rules and conditions, I understand what they're doing, how do I utilize that to my benefit? All right? So I'll see you if you sign up for another course. You call up the business division, say, what other class is Dr. George Mochocki teaching? I've already taken him for Intro to Business. Is he teaching a marketing class? Is he teaching a finance class? Is he teaching a management class? Those are some of the classes I usually will teach indirectly. Usually they have me in Intro to Business because I'm a generalist. I could take all this and present it. And all business owners, from small to large, have to know all aspects of business. Have a nice time off. Enjoy your little break before school starts again. Or some of you, you can just you take another 8-week late week start, but you'll finish in a sooner time. All right. So again, my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and again, thank you for signing up for this class. Thank you for hanging in there. Not only for myself, but also from the College of Lake County. And please sign up for the other classes, not only with me, but other instructors. Excellent school, excellent quality of instructors you'll find here at the College of Lake County in Grace Lake, Illinois. Bye. Okay. Ooh, 22 minutes. Not too bad. I'm always trying to keep these after under 20 minutes. I'll be quiet now.